What is up, everyone? I am Demon Cringe, and with the upcoming release of the Mega Man cartoon in 2018, I wanted to do this video because I have been thinking about some stuff. I actually been thinking about the Mega Man cartoon, and even though I'm not a huge fan of Mega Man, I have been thinking about it, and I like to, take a look at it when it comes out and all that, and I hope for all Mega Man fans that it turns out to be good. But as the more I started thinking about it, the more I started to worry, because of the fact that the Mega Man cartoon is a video game license cartoon, and if you're a gamer and if you know a lot about movie license games, they tend to be pretty hit or miss. The same thing goes for basically anything that's like licensed off and all that stuff. Now, first off, I just want to say I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom and saying that, oh my god, the Mega Man cartoon is gonna suck and all that. It's just that with the track record that usual licensed content has, we're gonna have to be expecting the worst with this one, especially since they have changed the style from regular 2D to cartoon budget CGI, which if you watched a lot of the recent CGI cartoons like the ones based off of How to Train a Dragon, the CGI looks like absolute garbage compared to the movies. I just hope they know what they're doing. So in the realm of movie license games, we can see pretty bad ones such as The Golden Compass and the second Godfather game based on the second movie, which is total garbage compared to the first one, which was really awesome. Although you can see really good ones such as in the Arkham series, Scarface for the PS2 and all that stuff. And in terms of cartoons, you can see like really bad shows such as and get ready for this. You probably haven't heard of this because it's unbelievable that they actually did this. There's a cartoon called Angry Birds Toons, and I'm not kidding you. They actually made a show based on Angry Birds, which in all honesty I really don't have to say a lot about because let's face it, it's just a cartoon made about a goddamn mobile game. Obviously, the only purpose that cartoon has is being a cheap cash-in and all that stuff, but now alternatively, of course, there are some good, game-based cartoons and anime such as Digimon and Earthworm Jim. But in the case of Mega Man, the only thing I could think about is that one horrible cartoon from the 80s where Mega Man was featured in called Captain N, the Game Master. And when you take a look at how Mega Man was in Captain N, the Game Master, you can just see that it was,
I'll show this mega lizard how kind of mega magic. Wow, that was mega fun. Only one mega problem.
The reason why I wanted to mention this cartoon specifically is because this is pretty much the reason why these like license things usually happen. The only reason companies license out these IPs and or people to make like games or like movies or shows about them is because they want to make money and all that. And usually with these creations, quality is pretty much an afterthought. Now, of course, I did mention the fact that there are good, game-based shows and, of course, movie license games, but they're kind of few and far between a little bit because, like I said, quality is an afterthought. So with keeping that in mind, it's better if we kind of expect the worst. And also the fact that I also mentioned that they have changed their animation to cartoon budget CGI, which a lot of the times looks absolutely ugly, but the good thing is at least they're not making it in Adobe Flash, which is pretty much a godsend since recently we've seen a lot more bad cartoons than good ones made with Flash and all that stuff. The only thing else we could hope for is the fact that even though we all know that licensed products are usually made just to make money, we can at least hope that it has like a little bit of quality and creativity in it and all that, because usually with these licensed products, like the company that makes it usually partners up with some sort of toy company like Mattel, for instance, and they make just immediately churn out a crap ton of toys, like really cheaply made toys, just so kids can immediately just run to the store and buy them and forget about them in a week. And just it immediately vanishes into obscurity. We can at least hope that the cartoon, is a little bit good and a little bit memorable and all that. The cartoon is, of course, being made by Man of Action, which, if you don't know, is the same studio that made Ben 10. And we know what Ben 10 basically devolved into. Like, take a look at the current running Ben 10 show. It's pretty garbage. I really don't know how the hell this is gonna turn out. Like I said, I only hope that it's at least somewhat decent. I just hope it's one of those hits. And just like I said, we really have to be like ready and expect the worst, because the fact that it's being made by Man of Action, the recent degradation that Ben 10 has gone through, it's like you can see that the studio really doesn't care about quality and all that stuff. They just want the toys to sell, which is another bad sign for the show. But I kind of got my fingers crossed. Even though I'm not a huge Mega Man fan, I'm still hoping that it's somewhat decent and all that stuff, because I'm thinking of taking a look at it and all that stuff. And for all the Mega Man fans out there, they really deserve a good Mega Man show and all that stuff. I mean, let's face it, like anything can be better than the green Mega Man.
Wow, that was mega fun!
So that's about it, everyone. That's my 2 cents on the upcoming Mega Man cartoon. We all know that the reason these license things usually happen is to rake in a quick profit and all that. We can only hope that it turns out to be at least semi-decent, if not good. But these signs, the fact that it's being made by Man of Action is pointing to its kind of failure and all that stuff, but we cannot jump to conclusions. Maybe they'll snap out of it and actually make a quality program for once. And just remember to never put your hopes up too high, and don't get sucked up by the hype. Everyone who bought No Man's Sky learned that lesson. Anyway, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and press the little bell icon, and as always, I'm Demon Cringe, and I'll be seeing you guys and gals in the next video.